This week on No Cell Service, our hosts cover the supernatural horror, Sinister. This content is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh gosh, I wonder if I should just immediately start with this one. This is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. It was one of the first that truly shook me to my core, and I don't think another horror movie has quite done that since this came out.
Mm-hmm.
But also, my wife loves to tell the story about how when we first started dating, and you've probably, if you're a regular listener, you know by now that like my wife does not like these movies. She doesn't like gore. She doesn't like any of that stuff. When we first started dating, I was like wanting to get her desensitized to horror movies.
You did not show her this is one of her first ones.
Yeah.
Dude!
No, that's not even the worst part. I put it on and then left the room.
Why did you leave?
I think I was doing something on my computer at the time. But yeah, she likes to hit me with that and you know, pull up the fact that it is scientifically the scariest horror movie to exist.
At least since 2020 when they started doing the what is it called? Scare Project or whatever it was.
Yeah, so this is a very special movie to me.
This is my wife's favorite horror movie.
So good.
It's really good. I also didn't know that what's his name? Ethan
Hawke.
Ethan Hawke is a writer. Did you know this? He's an actual writer. He's got 6 published books out.
I did not know that.
He does not write the genre that I would read. He does have a novella that I'm kind of interested in.
Damn.
He co-wrote 2 books with someone. Like he's an actual writer.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Project of Scare, that's what it's called. Yeah. Won the scariest movie since 2020 when they started doing that as far as I could tell. And it's only lost its spot once since.
To what?
Host. 1 year it lost to Host, which is I believe a Shudder original movie that I have not seen.
I haven't seen it either.
It is one I do want to watch.
Sounds good.
But it is back on top.
Put it on the list.
Yeah. Add it to our list of movies.
We got a big list.
We do.
We just compiled a list of a bunch of movies, and I don't know if we're gonna put any out there. Like it's probably just.
I mean, we've already put quite a few of those already out there. Us saying we want to do them anyways.
Well, we've definitely said like we want to do a lot of them, but
yeah, they're officially getting put on a calendar.
Yeah, so add Host to the calendar.
But that has nothing to do with this movie.
Yeah, no, it starts out immediately with, again, right off the bat, and this was back when movies weren't doing this as much, you know?
Yeah.
Like the immediate, just like putting you up to a 10 and just leaving you there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it opens with this like creepy fucking music and this like film.
Super 8 film.
Yeah, Super 8 film. It's like this backyard with a tree and there are ropes hanging from a big branch and nooses tied around the necks of people with bags over their heads.
Yeah, there's four people barely standing, so you can see like their feet kind of dangling, but they're still kind of standing, with nooses around their necks.
You see like a tiny bit of movement on like a branch up to the right, and then you see it like snap and fall, but slowly. And as the branch slowly falls, you see the rope get
almost one by one too, the way it's done.
Yeah, like everyone starts to get lifted up slowly and they start like kicking their feet, and it's like so unnerving immediately. Like it's one of those things that you're like, oh my fucking god. Okay.
It's a wild, even for a horror movie, this is a wild opening.
Yeah.
And it's not like, it's not bloody, it's not gory, but it's very visceral.
Yes.
And with the sounds, because you have like the whirring of the film, of like the projector of the film, you have the grain, and then just like...
It's also slow. It's not like normal speed, so it's
like a half speed almost.
It's unnerving as fuck.
It's wild to watch it happen.
Oh, yeah. They get lifted up and and then...
the film like cuts and you get the still shot and then literal cut across the bottom. You have Sinister stylized, like carved into the film.
Yep.
And it cuts to a moving truck with Ethan Hawke as Ellison Oswald.
Yep.
Moving
And
a single office box from the back of this fucking movie truck into the house.
yeah, even his wife like makes a comment. She's like, "Only one box," and he's like, "Oh, it's my office stuff."
It's fragile, and she's like, "All right, sissy."
Yeah. So obviously, like they're moving into this new house. He goes in and sees his daughter in her room, and she's like painting on the wall, and he's like,
You're skipping way ahead.
"What do you mean?"
You're skipping so far ahead.
Well, you said he was taking the box inside. That's what happens when he goes inside.
No, it's not.
Okay, well,
I guess it's fine, but he goes inside, yells at Trevor for blasting his music too loud in his headphones. The cops show up. Tracy talks to the cops, has to call. I guess it's fine. It's not. It's
I guess all that. Yeah,
it all happens back to back, so it's not like a really big deal. But we do get like scenes of the house, and we see Trevor. We get to see both kids. I think is the biggest thing is that it sets up for both kids.
Yeah.
And then the sheriff pulls up with talking to his deputies, one of which wants to get an autograph. He's not happy about that. The sheriff's not. And then he goes to talk to Ashley, who's already painting on her bedroom wall.
Mm-hmm. And essentially, he's just like, "All right, well, what's the one rule? You can only paint inside your room. You can't paint anywhere else in the house." And also, he's like, "Why aren't you helping move?" And she's like, "Well, I didn't want to move, so like, I don't have to help." And he's like, "That's not how it works." But
Ellison goes out with Ashley to help start unloading. Sees the sheriffs, and he's like, "Damn, we've been here like 10 minutes, and they're already fucking here." He goes up to talk to the sheriff. The other two deputies have already left. The conversation pretty much boils down to, dude, what the fuck? Like, our town needs to heal from this, and you're just stirring up shit. Let it lie.
yeah, like, you want to come write a fucking book about it? He mentions
Stephanie's still missing.
Yeah, and then the sheriff mentions that like he's caused like problems in the past as far as his writing goes, like because apparently like some of his writing helped.
So what we end up learning, and this isn't a spoiler, is that one of his books helped put a murderer away. It's called Kentucky Blood. This is like him writing his high of ever. And then his next two books flopped entirely. They did not do well, and in one of those books, he has a theory that helps a killer go free.
Yeah. And so the sheriff's like,
we don't need that here.
Yeah, we don't fucking need that here. People are trying to heal from this catastrophe.
We're trying to heal. We're trying to forget. And when he said that, I was like, I guess I could see a defense lawyer using like a true crime book. Look at the evidence no one believes. Or like, taking his theory to let the killer walk. But I was like, damn, I own a little handful of true crime novels.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, a lot of those people aren't trained in criminology. They're not, this isn't their profession. Their profession is being a writer. They're very, very good at their research, but I'm not taking everything they say as fact.
Yeah.
It's, again, like a true crime podcaster or, fucking anybody who isn't, and don't get me wrong, like cops get shit wrong, but also like, I'm not taking some rando off the internet's advice.
Yeah, because like compared to anything that the cops say or do, no matter what anyone else says, that's just going to be pure conjecture.
Pretty much.
And like that's not solid enough to put someone behind bars for life.
Yeah, if it was, then like 45,000 people would be arrested for John Bonet's murder.
Yeah, like it's yeah.
It is what it is, but I understand like.
But it's an interesting take. It immediately sets up this sense of like unease when they move into this house that like, oh, the fucking cops aren't reliable because they don't like him. Well, fuck, like this.
As well as right before the sheriff walks away, because the sheriff like tries to convince him to move out, and he's like, "I'm not doing that. Like, you want to sign book? I'll do that." And he's like, "No, whatever." Says something, and then as he's walking away, he's like, "In this," and he points to him in the house. He's like, "Is very distasteful.
Yeah.
I don't agree with this."
Yeah.
Or what is it? This is in bad taste.
Yeah.
And he doesn't explain that, and you're like, "Oh fuck! Like, what did he do? Why are they here?"
Well, he goes into the house and walks through the house up to the back window, and the camera pans over to like looking out.
Fucking tree.
Yeah, and in the backyard is the tree with the broken branch.
Still there.
And you're like, "Oh, you fucking idiot."
Yep, and Tracy.
And then his wife.
Tracy's like, "Please don't tell me we moved a few houses down from a crime scene again." And he's like,
"No, I promise."
Well, she stops him and she's like, "Wait, I don't want to know." And he's like, "I promise you, we did not move 3 houses down from a crime scene." And she's like, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah, sorry, that happens before it goes in the house. My brain is
this motherfucker, man. This starts the issue I have of skirting the truth to fit your narrative where it's not technically a lie, but it is
that
not
shit
the
pisses me
truth.
off. That like
Oh.
gets under my skin
Mhm.
because it's the alarm bells went off in your brain saying that that was a bad thing to do, and you did a workaround essentially, and fucking like that's even worse
'Cause
than
he's-
just lying. You could have just lied.
And especially because she said, I don't want to know. He could have just stayed silent, not said anything.
But he, yeah.
But he decided to skirt.
He had to fucking double down.
Yep. And that is him throughout the entire movie, is doubling
Yes,
down
yes.
on shit.
But honestly, I think it works for his overall character
Oh,
because,
yeah.
like, we'll talk about it later once we kind of see, like,
No.
how his character is kind of unveiled.
This is exactly the type of character you're getting into. All of this, like, I had no gripes with how the character acted.
Yeah.
Besides him being a shitty guy.
Yeah.
Like, everything is in character for this character.
Very self-centered, very narcissistic, I think.
Yeah. We can start there and work our way down a diagnosis list.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, I know there's a whole epidemic of people using narcissists lightly, but the character is set up to be that kind of character.
No,
like,
I've been around enough of it in my life to be able to confidently call it out when I see it.
Yeah.
Like
there's just
I fucking know.
there's a whole thing with people calling anyone who's just selfish a narcissist, and it's like there's
there's a big difference, and that will be revealed as we talk about it more.
Yeah.
But as of right now, you're just like, oh, you fucking idiot.
You're
just a dumbass husband.
You're a dumbass husband chasing your dream of writing this next book. He takes one singular box upstairs.
Yeah.
And while he's upstairs, he finds a singular box placed very neatly and nicely on the ground.
In the attic.
In the attic, sorry, thank you.
This is like a one story.
Yes.
Very beautiful home, but
Dude, this house is so nice. And I was trying to map it out in my head because they actually filmed in a real house, I believe. And so I was like, this house is huge.
yeah.
When he's wandering around, I have no idea where he is ever.
Nope.
Could not tell you.
He finds this box and he lifts it up and there's a scorpion under it. It scares the fuck out of him. So he drops the box on the scorpion and squishes it.
And it's a giant scorpion.
It is. It's not a small one. Like it is a full-bodied black,
Like
like
palm-sized. It's a big boy. I would have dropped the box on him too. The box is full of old tapes, not VHS tapes, like those circular round, again, Super 8 film,
like projector tapes.
And he grabs that box and he's like, oh, and takes
He's
it
like, what the
to,
fuck?
his office.
Is that when he looks at like one of the tape boxes and it says like
It says like barbecue, family barbecue, or pool party. I can't remember
I think
which
it was
one.
family barbecue. It was the barbecue first, I think. Or
was it the family? Was it family hangout?
family hangout. It was something like that.
It was. So those are 3 of the tapes that are in there. I just can't remember which tape he pulled out, and I want to say it was the family hanging out.
I think so.
But so he takes that tape box, takes it to his office, and then over dinner they start talking about their finances to an extent where I don't think I would be comfortable talking about my finances in front of my 12 and like 7-year-old.
Well, it's not really their fault because their kid takes a jab at like, well, why did we have to like why don't we have money? Why can't you just sell our old house already? Like lower the price. And the mom is like, Trevor, you don't understand like how this works.
Yeah, I just think like because they kind of go into depth a little bit with it where they're like, oh yeah, because mom says enjoy the takeout. We won't be doing this again for a while. And it's just like she set up the conversation to happen.
No, that is fair.
And so they end up Ellison has to end up explaining that they're still paying the mortgage on the old house and this house, which we find out how broke they are is not fiscally responsible because he's like, we're broke shit. I had to do this. And you did not have to move your family to this house when you didn't even sell your old house. Like that's even worse.
Yeah.
But Trevor is talking about how like he's just going to get bullied anyways for this new story. And he thinks he's old enough to, look at the crime scene photos. He wants to know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And Tracy, the mom, is like, kid, no, you're not.
She's
old
like,
enough.
I'm not even old enough to look at that shit.
We're not doing this. And then they talk about the rules of never go in dad's office, and then dad has to respond with always lock dad's office.
Yep.
So they have rules set in place for this, and it makes sense when you see, like, as a true crime person, like, I watch true crime and I listen to the podcasts and stuff. I could not imagine doing research to write a book or do those kinds of things and then having that material out around, like, my kids. Not saying, like, I looked at that shit when I was super young, but it can be really fucking traumatizing if you're not ready for that, and different
100%.
circumstances, whatever, like, kids be kids, but I do not blame mom for being like, lock your fucking door.
Oh yeah, I agree, because after dinner he goes into his, or no, it cuts to his wife in bed, and he's like brushing his teeth and they're talking. She's essentially like, how long are we gonna be here? And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, how long
this time?
Yeah, how long this time? And he's like, what?
He said probably a while. Like, we're going to be here for a long time. And she tries to tell him to go back to writing his fiction because she liked him a lot better when he was a fiction writer. And he's like, yeah, but no one else did. Like, no one liked my fiction writing. He says he just needs another hit. And she's like, Kentucky Blood was 10 years ago. What if that was it? What if that was the only 15 minutes of fame you had?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and what if it was? Like, I have a good feeling and blah, blah, blah. And she tells him that if it gets bad like it did last time, she's taking the kids to her sisters. She's like, is that fair? He nods and says, that's fair. So now they have an agreement, and it sets up this whole dynamic where and as someone who gets hyper fixated on situations and things I'm doing, oh God, is that fair? Especially if you're writing horrific things like this. Like, I could not imagine the mental state you get in looking at that stuff day after day after day, and then hyper fixating on writing as well, to a point where, like, dude, I've had some moments in my life where I forget to eat and forget to take care of myself and forget to do those things, and it's not for financial gain. I could not imagine also having the weight of, I have to provide for my family, and this book is it on top of it. Like, it's fair if you get that bad for your wife to be like, I'm taking the fucking kids.
100%. And so he ends up going to do some work in his office when she goes to bed. And again, when we go into his office, it's he's setting up his office and these boards like a
police station type thing, or like the FBI, like in Long Lakes.
Yeah, like in investigations where he's got like the pictures and news articles and stuff.
Red string, the whole nine
red
yards.
String in the whole thing. He gets a picture of the attic and then like draws a little like box on the Post-it note and like places it where the box would have been in the attic. And then he writes like who put the box there. He starts writing down some questions, stuff like that. Yeah,
we get a family photo of the Stevensons, which was the family before this, and you find out they were actually a family of 5. Stephanie is the youngest who's gone missing. This is what him and the sheriff were talking about, is like, he thinks Stephanie is still alive and, they deserve to find her. Or either she's still alive or she's missing and they deserve to find the body or like find her. And the sheriff is like, there's no way she's alive. And if she is, it's not a miracle.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, and he's like, he does not want to look for her. He doesn't want to do anything like that. So we get like her missing photo. What else? These boards are really nice, by the way. Like, I was stuck, and we see them throughout. Like, one of them has like a bench built in, and like,
they're really fucking nice.
They are so cool. The music, and then like I watched this movie with headphones, so I was at my computer with headphones, and oh my God, dude,
it's so unnerving because as soon as he starts going to work in his office, it's this like quick beat, but not. I don't even know how you would describe the drum beat, like the do 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 da, like that.
It's like a good build up without being, it's tension building without being a build up, I guess is the best way to say it. Like,
there's no rising pitch. It's just like tension building
to kind of like set you on edge a little bit. You're like, okay, we're getting into it now. Like, we're starting something. And this scene. This is what I think of when I think of this movie, is him in the darkness with his fucking notepad as the projector is, doing its thing. This is like such an iconic scene for me that when I think of whatever the fuck, what are we watching? Sinister. When I think of Sinister, this is the scene I like think of. I almost said Black Phone.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It's so good.
Yeah. So
I
he
talk
puts.
about I
Like,
talk about the cinematography of this movie so much in my notes because it is filmed so just like so well,
It's so perfect.
and it has those like scenes where things kind of slow down or stretch out a little bit, like when he's setting up the projector and it's like slows a little as he sets something on, and then it like speeds to catch up to where it should be, and it reminds me of the like there are scenes like this in Saw.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me that vibe a lot of like the just like the fast paced but slowed down somehow.
I definitely feel like there could be inspiration from Saw coming into this movie.
With the cinematography, I could super see it, yeah.
Yeah. And even like just a tiny bit of like, why don't we just talk about what the first tape he watches reveals? Because that'll kind of give you an idea of why I said that.
The first film he puts on is Family Hanging Out, or something synonymous to that.
Yeah.
And it's filmed from the bushes, because of course it is. As you watch a dad play with two of his kids, and you see mom getting like a barbecue thing set up or whatever, and they're about to have a picnic, and it's just like...
The music. This is where the music really hits, because it turns into this like...
The best word I had was chant. And I think you see that more in the second film, but like you get this like
it's not
low...
It's like the song is like it's like a humming, like a lower tone, and it like barely rises in pitch. So it's kind of like, it does that like, ooh, like that.
Yeah,
you know?
That's really good, actually.
It's like, it makes you feel so bad.
It's all of the proper tones to make you feel like you should in a horror movie.
If
like it's got all of it.
If you struggle with fear of like that certain types of audio, this movie will definitely freak you the fuck out with that, because like it's just that specific, the uncanny valley of sound.
Yeah.
It's
where
just...
it's almost someone's voice, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's almost an instrument you can place, but not.
Yeah.
It's very good.
And it's almost a little somber, but not horrifically sad or anything. Just kind of, yeah. The reason I'm focusing on it so much is because the music is 3/4 of what makes these specific scenes so terrifying.
It makes... So we get to watch all of the tapes. There are 4. And each tape has a very specific tone of music to it.
Yeah.
And so this is this tape's tone. And anytime this tape is shown, we get this type of tone, music, note-ish stuff to it. And it's... The music makes it. The music makes it for sure.
And so he's watching this video of this family in the backyard doing their thing. And then all of a sudden it cuts to the video of the people in the backyard. Hanging from the tree. And it zooms in close on Ellison to his face, because he's like, what the fuck? And he watches this unfold. And I like, you see it in his face that this is where he realizes like, what the fuck did I just stumble into? I can't even imagine. Like moving into this house.
Oh, and finding that?
And like going up into the... If I found that...
Bro, the thing is if I found it, I wouldn't watch it. But I guess I'm not also a true crime writer writing about a murder that happened in this house, right? Like...
Yeah, who needs
it's a freaking gold mine if you're him, right? Like it's evidence the cops don't have.
Yeah, well,
that you get to be the breaking person for.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll see that here in a second, but Ethan Hawke didn't pre-watch these tapes.
Jesus.
So because they wanted to get like a more natural reaction where it wasn't being forced. And so I'm curious about some of the scenes, because after this he ends up pouring himself a glass of whiskey. There's one scene where he goes to drink the whiskey glass and just gets hit with the ice in his mouth. And I'm curious if that was like a character choice where he was like, this character would be drinking this much whiskey and like not notice. Or if it was like, they did it and they're like, hey, you should drink the glass and like,
I love that, because that makes a scene later so much more impactful. And I'll talk about it when we get to it. But he pours himself some whiskey and starts sipping. He writes down on a note.
He watches it one more time and then... He started because he like zones in. He has a notepad and he's supposed to be taking notes on the video, and he zones in so bad as he watches all of this. Pours himself a glass of whiskey and then actually starts writing notes. And I hate the way he fucking writes notes, because he asks himself 2 questions and it takes up half the damn page.
Yeah.
and says, who made the film? Where's Stephanie? And that takes up half this fucking yellow notepad page.
This giant letters.
I don't know. Waste of space, in my opinion. I know for like filming purposes, it's easier to read when you write bigger like that, but like as someone who takes notes and writes things.
In my head, the way I'm thinking of it is like, if I were him and I was writing down notes like that, that is like one of the biggest questions out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'd want it to be big so that if I put it on a board, I can look over, and that can be the most imposing question that'll like kind of keep hitting the back of my head, so that maybe one day I'll look at it and be like, holy fuck, maybe, you know, and then like connect the two. That's my only thought.
They're also just written really close.
Yes, that's
so
also
so in my opinion, like if that was, because if you're doing like what did they call it, like the bubble brainstorm, where you have like the question in the middle and then you branch off and write things. If you would have separated it a little bit more to like write notes in between, I think, I don't know, this is just me being nitpicky about writing giant shit on a piece of paper.
I get it.
He goes outside to stare at the tree. Just it's a weird what's it called, magnetic pull, it feels like, for him, because he stares at this tree quite a bit. And I mean, obviously, like if you're writing about a murder and you get to look and see where the murder happened, I'm sure it would be the same if they were like murdered in the bedroom, right? You just get drawn to that spot and you just stare at it.
Yeah, because like your brain is trying to create the scene, it's trying to take all the details in. You just need to sit there and like absorb as much as you can so that your brain can like really fire on all cylinders when it comes to the creative process.
Yeah. When he comes back inside, he hears a door creak, and then he hears something creak in the hallway behind him, and then he hears something creak in the kitchen, and he's like creeping around his house like, what the fuck is happening? And
at one point, as he's creeping, you see a black thing run past the camera, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? He ends up walking up to the laundry room, and he opens the door, and the light's on, and the door opens. It's his daughter standing there, and she's like, Dad, I can't find the bathroom. And it's just so cute because you're like, oh, okay. He's like, all right, come here. Like, I'll help you.
He takes her to the bathroom, waits outside. She comes out the bathroom and then starts going the wrong direction and then turns back around. And I'm going to cut the rest of my sentence because I don't want to spoil things ahead. So he goes back to his office after putting Ashley to bed. He pulls out a new tape. And again, I love the scenes of him putting the tapes on the freaking projector, because it, like we talked about with the last tape, it does like the speed up, the slow down, the sound effects. They do the Foley, like everything. Just like it's like those scenes from freaking Dawn of the Dead. The not Scorsese. What the fuck is his name? Snyder. When he does those scenes, like the Snyder scenes, it's like that, except. Just, you know, it's the slow down shit. They get me every time.
It's really cool because putting together a movie projector like that with the old Super 8 film, it's a fucking process. So it's not like he just puts it in and then presses play. He's got to put the reel on. He's got to like feed the reel into a thing. He's got to clamp it down. He's got to tighten this shit, and then he's got to make it focus, and then he's got to make sure that it starts running, and then he can sit down and start watching. Yes. So like it's these really cool montages.
It's so good. This time,
but it also like they're the perfect setup because you know exactly what's going to happen now. Like by this second time, all this setup is like, what the fuck kind of video is he strapping in now? And like that's where it gets the wheels turning. So by the time the movie pulls up, you're strapped in and just ready to fucking ride the ride, whether you like it or not.
Yes. And this time, it's a different family. It's a dad and two sons who are fishing on the side of the creek.
Different music. Again, this one's actually a little lighter than the first one. It's not like happy, but it's a little like higher tone.
This one's more chanty. This is the one I meant to.
The second part is more chanty.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's this like dad and these kids fishing, and it's like a fun like day at the lake,
Yep. And they're packing up in their car, and you see mom, and then it cuts. Once they get in the car, it cuts to the garage chained shut their car chained shut in a garage,
and it's pitch black except for like the light coming from behind the camera. And so you don't really see anything besides like the middle of the screen that's being illuminated. And so you see the camera kind of swinging around. So you get half images of these, little glimpses of like the chains wrapped around the car. And this is where the chanting kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just some dude just being like, but it's like worse.
It is.
It's so bad.
Again, it's that like weird in between where you're like, I'm pretty sure that's a man singing, right?
I think.
Exactly. And
but
so
you don't.
It's not clear. And this audio makes me think of Skeleton Key.
Okay. Well, that gets me terrified.
Except there's actual singing in that one. There are words in Skeleton Key, and it's on a record. So you also get that record.
Ooh, this scratchy, like...
Yes. Oh my god, dude. You're going to love it when we finally get to that.
I can't wait.
So as the cameraman is like swinging around, we get... All of the windows are also rolled down. And so you get to this window, and you see mom tied up, duct taped up with a thing of kerosene. You don't see the other person, but you see their feet kicked up by mom's head.
Yep.
And so it's one of the boys, because in the front seat is dad with another thing of kerosene. They're all knocked the fuck out. And the camera spins around to the front of the car where you see something drawn on the hood and then just fire tossed at the car, and it just
up in flames. Christ. Again, Ellison takes a fat swig of his drink, because what are you going to do in that moment besides
drink?
Numb.
And then I love a good reflection in the glasses, and this car on fire and the reflection in his glass, is good. They do it twice. I think this one is better than the second time.
Agreed.
He does the responsible thing for all of 0.5 seconds and calls the cops.
Yeah. He calls the cops, and they're like, I don't even know what he says.
It's like operator, where he's like, is it emergency? He said yes. He gets transferred over to the police station. And as he's waiting on the freaking phone, he walks over to one of his built-in bookcases where there's a stack of Kentucky blood there, which, again, is the book, not just blood vials, just for the record. Stacked very nicely.
Thick book. Like, that's a fucking novel, too.
Yeah. This fucking man in hubris. His fucking pride gets the better of him every fucking chance it can. And he hangs up on the cops because he's like, this is going to be my next Kentucky Blood. And I fucking know this is going to be better than Kentucky Blood. So he goes to watch another fucking movie.
And this one is titled Pool Party, right? The pool one's the third?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to decipher my notes because I say back to work, back to photos, you left the box, why? So I'm trying to... Oh, that's why. Okay. I was trying to decipher what I was saying. So he's going back to work, and he looks at the photo of the attic with the box on there, and he's like, why did you leave the box? That's what happened.
That's right.
And then we have Pool Party 66.
And again, there's a
thud before he gets to watch it.
Oh, that's right. He turns on the projector and it does the countdown, but then there's a thud.
And a door creaks.
And so he turns it off. Oh God, yeah.
He goes to investigate, calling out for Ashley, but checks, and she's definitely still in bed. And then the floor creaks in the attic, then it's down the hall, and then it's freaking behind him, and this house is goddamn gigantic. There are a lot of halls, there are a lot of doorways.
Yeah.
He's creeping down the hall, and then there's a box in the middle of this hall.
Yeah.
It's a moving box. And it shifts just a little, and you're like,
what the fuck?
What happened? And he's staring at it like, did I just fucking see that? And I'm sitting there like, did I just fucking see that? And then it shifts again, and we're like, oh, everyone saw that.
He takes a couple steps closer, and then all of a sudden you hear scuffling, and then the top of the box slowly starts to open. And then I was about to say like something out of a horror movie.
Something out of The Ring.
Like something out of The Ring.
Fucking kid leans back in one swift motion,
and
shirtless.
Like reaches out towards his dad and
screams.
Screaming so loud.
And it's like the scream with no air. It's that like gasping like
it's
horror
like
movie. It's so...
But like it's loud and like jarring, and his eyes are like so bulged open wide, and it's terrifying.
And it takes a moment for Ellison to be like, "Oh my God, my son!"
Yeah, and so he runs up and he grabs him, and of course his wife wakes up and she's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "I think he's having an episode again." And so he runs outside,
and they're like screaming for him to wake up, like, "Look at the stars! Like, you're okay, we got you." And so you get this thing that you're like, "Oh." And even Tracy says this, like, he's prone to night terrors, but it's been a while since he's had them.
Yeah.
And so he's like, Ellison looks at Tracy and is like, I have something I need to tell you. And then she's like, what? You can tell me anything. And he's like, I'm just so sorry. You piece of shit, motherfucker.
I'm just so sorry. And she's like, no, it's not your fault. And you're kind of sitting here like,
It's all
kind of is his fault.
Even if this house wasn't creepily haunted in a murder place, all of this is his fault because he made you move.
Yeah.
Because how much you want to bet all of these night terrors started when you started writing your fucking true crime shit?
Yeah.
Because you're going to look me in the face and tell me that a 12-year-old kid has not snuck into their dad's office to see what the hell's going on. And not to mention...
not just that. Just go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, not to mention... Kid, we learned that he got bullied at his last school for his dad being the murder writer who's bringing up shit no one wants to talk about. So he gets told by everyone and their goddamn mother, like, what type of murder happened. Your dad's a dick. Like, this kid knows too much because kids never have the full story. So you know he's being told an exaggerated, murder, all of it, right? No true crime author writes about just, like, your casual murder. Like, it's a event.
Yeah.
And so this kid is getting told an exaggerated version of an already terrible crime.
Because that's half the problem too, is like you'll have that kid's parents probably have a strong opinion about it that may be an elevated scenario of the issue. That kid's just gonna take that and think that that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna go and fucking
telephone it.
The
next morning, Ellison explained what happened to Trevor, who's like, I was in a box. Like, he doesn't remember any of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, honestly, it's not the worst place we found you. And he's like, don't talk about the dryer. And then Tracy comes in and is like, oh, are you guys talking about the time you were peeing in the dryer? And he's like, Mom. And then Ashley comes in and she's like, oh, are you guys talking about the time he was peeing in a dryer? He's like, shut the fuck up. And I was like, you know what? Fair kid. Like, no one wants to relive that shit, especially if he's prone to sleepwalking and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man, like if you can't help it, don't make fun of me for it.
Nah, you think, but my brother also used to sleepwalk. It was a whole thing.
That's fair.
Tracy takes the kids off to school. Ellison goes back to work. He is obviously starting with a pool party tape he wasn't able to watch last night. We got a new family. They're all having a nice little day at the pool.
Jumping in the pool, splashing, running around.
There are 3 kids in this one with
sunbathing.
2 parents.
Yeah, having fun.
Just having your average day when you have a pool.
And then it cuts to nighttime and the pool, and there's nothing in the pool. And then it pans over to beach chairs, and there are the people tied to the beach chairs, and underneath the beach chairs in the legs are cinder blocks. And there are ropes attached to
the chairs,
the ends of the chairs.
Then they get pulled off into the pool.
They get pulled into the pool one by one, and this one is freaky because the first one gets pulled in, and then just their feet start kicking back and forth. It's not shaking or violent. And that's the thing that I think I didn't iterate this earlier. The motions, the thrashing motions from the people hanging, the kicking of the feet, it's not explicitly visceral or extreme. It's one step up from subtle, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that.
It's just enough to where you can feel the fact that they're struggling, or the dude drowning in the pool kicking his feet, but it's not there's thrashing and the chair's not shaking or anything. It's literally just the feet waggling back and forth.
It's the visceralness of how calm
I think
it is.
I think part of that's probably the drugs.
The drugs and then Oh, yeah, we'll talk about here in a second, is they were, some of them had drugs found in their system, but unexplicit of what they were. And then it's also some of the tapes are slightly slowed down, right? Which also helps. And for the hanging one, the tapes were slowed down.
Yes.
And so it's this weird, again, I think you nailed it with uncanny valley of you think it should be faster, you think it should be a certain way, and it's just missing the mark a little bit on purpose. And so it just gives you the heebie-jeebies.
It also, for scenes like that, I think they definitely did it on purpose to make you linger in those scenes longer.
Oh, yeah.
If it was happening in real time, I think they would go by too fast. You wouldn't be able to absorb everything properly. It wouldn't hit you fully because they wouldn't give you enough time in those scenes. if that makes sense.
No, I super
Because
agree.
They literally, like, one of them is kind of regular. Like, the next one that we see after Pool Party, there's a part where it's not even slow. It's just, like, normal time.
Yeah.
And so, but that's because it's a longer bit. And so it still gives you enough time to have the buildup without needing to slow it down.
I agree.
And so, like, it's so fucking well done because you don't even notice that. You don't notice it until you watch it 4 or 5 times and then analyze it and be like, holy shit, that's why they're slowing it down here versus...
versus it's, again, cinematography, the direction of this.
This movie is a masterpiece.
A lot of people blame the flop of Sinister 2 on the fact that it was a different director.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't think I've ever seen Sinister 2, so I can't speak on that. But there's no way you could capture the feel of this movie without that director.
No. It's one of those things where it is enough, like, it is such a specific project for that person, or like that person is so unique in how they, you know, build their media or whatever they do, that you can feel that when you watch it. And so, yeah, like you nailed it. Like, having a different director for the second one just threw it for a fucking loop.
We get our first glimpse of someone in
the
pool.
So the camera, like, during the pool drowning scene, the camera pans down into the water, and there's this figure standing in the water. It looks over up at the camera, and it's this creepy ass motherfucker with, like,
he looked like a radish head.
He kind of looks like
he's really warped because of it being in water. Like, he's got a very elongated chin.
He looks
very,
like a death metal singer.
Yes.
With, like, white paint all over his face and long, black, greasy hair. Like that, but, like, stocky and big.
And then, like, the black eye makeup and that kind of stuff, too.
Ellison gets up and, like, goes to, like, look closer at it. And then all of a sudden you see the video start to, like, melt essentially, and he looks over and the projector's on fire.
And that's a hazard.
Like, yeah. And you're like, what the oh, okay. He puts that out and oh god,
instantly starts looking up tutorials on how to edit the film to make it watchable.
Yeah. So he figures out a way to, like, he sets up a camcorder to record the footage. He replays up until the point where, like, the footage burnt. And he gets it all recorded so he can put it on his MacBook. He's
fast forwarding through the footage trying to find that scene again. And it cuts, like, the burn killed most of that scene except for 2 frames that you can see this weird guy.
Like, as he started to look over. It's not like the full him looking over. It's like just him starting. So it's
a
almost
profile
like this,
and then, like, a 3/4 view.
It's almost like this thing didn't want him to see his full face. Like, it was like, nope. We're not there yet. Nope.
Oh, and on that note, they didn't have a big enough budget to do, like, any CGI, so pretty much everything is practical.
That's insane to me, because the first time that I was genuinely like, man, I wonder how they did this, was the pool scene.
My guess
it had to be animatronics.
My guess with that is that it was the murder of the pool scene. I thought you were saying radish head in the pool.
Oh no, that's like low budget special effects. You could definitely.
I was thinking that you do because of the grain and stuff. I think you can get away with a mannequin, and then you can either do the string where you can pull the feet, or you have a stunt double who's just gripping and just wiggles the feet real fast, gripping onto the chair if it is fully submerged. Would be my guess.
No, and that makes sense. It just the way that it's set up. I mean, these like. And I've explained scenes this exact way before, but there's no, like, seam between, like, cuts.
It's not like a mash cut where you see it.
It's just, it's so smooth and so well done. And I think that is partly, like, I mean, that's a big role as to, like, why this movie hits so fucking hard. It's like you're just watching this all happen. It's so real.
Yeah, well, all of the super film footage was filmed on a Super 8.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like,
and they wanted to do the entire film on film.
Crazy.
And they weren't allowed to, actually, because of Blumhouse. It's cheaper to do digital. And so Blumhouse gave them a budget of $3 million 3 billion, whatever. It was less. They like quadrupled it in box office, so it wasn't that big of a deal after the fact. But
dude, it was like the fucking movie when it came out.
Dude, it did really well in box office,
Yeah.
but they had such a small budget that the director himself, I believe, bought a Super 8 film camera to do these scenes because he's like, I wasn't going to chance renting one because you got one shot to film it. Like, there's no guarantee on a film camera.
Damn. And that means, so, he literally just like bought one of those fucking handheld.
It's probably
like,
the camera we see later.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yep.
Holy fuck. That's so cool. I already loved this movie, but knowing everything now, like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff just makes me love it so much more. Especially, we haven't even talked about it yet, but we'll get to it.
Oh, this is a weird place to put this, but as we're talking about behind the scenes stuff, so the credits thank BlackBerry, but they only use Apple products in this entire movie. And they, the director and writer were in a interview about it, and they're like, we have no idea why we thanked BlackBerry. Couldn't tell you, because we told Apple that we wanted to film a movie and they just gave us a bunch of shit. And so
that's so funny.
Just this entire time I'm thinking of BlackBerry.
It sounds like some dude, like, you know, writing the credits, like making that.
Like he had a BlackBerry.
Yeah, and like he just like, fuck all these iPhone users.
It's all about BlackBerry.
Yeah, like genuinely.
So he's doing all of this stuff and he's flipping back and forth between the two frames he can see of Radish Head. And then you hear Tracy I don't want to call it yelling, but raising her voice at Trevor for what he's done. And so he walks out and he's like, hey, like, what's going on? And
she's like, why don't you tell your dad what you drew?
She's like, what did you do? And he's like, you're on her side, really? And he's like, I just want to know what the fuck happened. So this kid drew a tree with 4 people hanging from it on Sharpie on a whiteboard.
And permanent marker on the whiteboard at school.
No wonder this kid got bullied at his last school. If this is a shit he's pulling about a murder that happened in a small town. Like,
yeah, because when you're that age, those kids are just considered freaks.
Yeah.
And like they get bullied for being freaks.
So it could be that he's leaning into it before everyone else can, right? You have that mentality of like, I'll just be the freak before they can even call me one.
And that's the other thing too, is like, so with this scene, it's purely just, you know, what we hear from the parents. We don't get like a cut scene, or like we don't get a scene at the school of him like drawing it or anything, which I actually appreciate, because I feel like a lot of movies would throw that in as a scene to establish that, just because, like, I don't know, media literacy is so low, and I feel like it's getting worse nowadays.
Yeah,
but
totally
like, you know, a lot of directors would definitely feel compelled to just throw that in to make sure that it was known and like a prominent issue. But it was just one of those things that like it's all being told by the story over like, you know, and it's just down to how well those actors can carry the scene at that point, because it's like the arguing and how the family combats each other over this issue is what builds all of that. You know what I mean?
This movie is, you're following Ellison. So if Ellison doesn't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
And I love that type of storytelling in movies, that because it feels so like meaning novel, like writing, like a book to me, that you're following a character and you know as much as the character does.
Well, yeah.
And I love that. And that is not a thing that they do anymore. They give you too much information. Like you're saying, media literacy. You're spoon-fed fucking everything to make sure you're not missing anything.
Dude, it's in fucking Resident Evil 9. You can keep this in, because I'm not like super pissed about it, but I was just like, come on, man. Because there's literally a scene where you're playing as like the FBI detective, and that's like the first person super scary parts. You like walk into this basement, you see this girl behind glass, her eyes are white, and she's got a book in her lap with no words, just bumps, doing this with her fingers. What can you assume? And she's blind.
Yeah.
Characters gotta walk up, it's gotta show you all of that individually, and then the characters gotta walk up and go, cataracts. Are you blind? Bruh. Like, it's okay, man. We'll either get it or we won't. The people that don't get it, that's okay. Like, let them figure it out next time. But don't just spoon feed everything, because then that's just going to make it worse.
Yeah.
That's just going to make the media literacy worse. People aren't going to be able to sit and read a fucking article. People haven't been able to sit and watch a fucking video on TikTok for years because they have to put somebody playing fucking Subway Surfers right next to it just so that people will stay and watch. It's like, what the fuck?
On to our next video, our next tape, I should say.
Is it?
Yeah, because they have this fight in the hallway, and Tracy's pissed, and he's like, well, I guess I'm going back to work. So he goes back, and he's watching this video, and this video starts different, because so far we've had, like, an opening, establishing shot of a happy family. This one, we don't get that.
This one starts with someone creeping up a driveway at, like, 7 p.m. when, like, the sun...
This one starts in the kitchen.
Oh, this is the... Okay, yeah, sorry. That's why my brain was like, is it this one? No,
that's the fourth one. This one, we start in the kitchen at night. The only light you have is whatever the camera person is holding. Walking through a house. There's, you see the fridge, you see photos, it's just your normal house.
5.
There's 4.
There's the
hanging, there's the pool, there's the car on fire.
There's this one, and then
the stabbing.
there's
and the lawnmower. Yeah, you're right. There's 5.
That's why I got confused. I was like, wait. Yeah, sorry. Okay,
No,
yes. So it starts in the kitchen and at night, and again, different tone of music.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as creepy, but
it's even worse because we don't have the establishing happy shots.
No, it's literally just the bad.
Thrown into a house.
It starts wandering through the halls, like up the stairs, and as it gets up the stairs, it passes by like a wall, and you see like a glimpse of kind of what you saw on the car hood earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It passes by, and then it like goes into a room and starts panning over, and you see like feet, and then you see like a dog, like a chihuahua, start barking, and then it pans over to
Mom and Dad are tied up, mouths taped shut, just like we've seen everyone else.
Drugged half asleep. It cuts to Ellison's face, and in the reflection of his glasses, you see a knife go up and then slash the dad's throat.
And then
and this is where we were talking about earlier, like with the car burning, they give you both shots where you see the car burning and then you see the shot of it in the reflection. This one, they just give you it in the reflection, which I don't know.
It makes sense to me because of the practical budget.
To make
that look nice.
100%. And
this makes so much more sense to do a reflection where you don't have to, because I think it would have been a very shitty scene to try and do practically with the budget they have. That I agree with doing. I don't like this shot, but I understand practically why they did it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
And then
the camera goes into a different room and pans to a little kid on the bed.
Yep.
And he walks up to the kid, and then Ellison, this is where, when you told me that he watched these for the first time, was reacting for the first time, that means when he saw this, his instinct was that his character would not even want to watch this and to just look away. And so like Ellison literally looks away, and then instead of grabbing his glass of whiskey, he just grabs the bottle and starts chugging. And
I love what they do with you don't watch it either as the viewer. The video it unfocuses it.
Yeah.
And so you just slowly
you're focused on Ellison, and you can see a blur of the video in the back. So
and they blur it even more.
Yeah.
Like it continues to get blurrier and blurrier until you cannot make out what's happening.
But the fact that he just he reacted so naturally that his first instinct when he saw that a kid's throat was about to be cut, that like, I can't even watch this. Like, fuck this shit, and just grabs a bottle. That like, this is why Ethan Hawke is one of my favorite actors, because he's a fucking genius. Like, that is just that's an extra level that I don't think they necessarily like even put in the script.
I'm very curious. I'm always very curious about how they film scenes where they want the actor's natural reaction to things.
Yeah.
Because I want to know I think it's filmed from 3 different angles. Yeah. Right? We get the back of him, the front of him, and then I think a side profile. And so I want to know which angle was filmed first for the natural reaction, and what was subsequently filmed afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, that is what I want to know, because with the next film he watches, I want, obvious, we'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah.
But also, did you know he did not want to star in horror movies? This was not one of the things he wants to do.
That's so funny.
Wanted to do, and now look at him.
Because the first thing I knew him from was The Purge.
Yeah, apparently I was watching an interview with him where he's like, yeah, I always thought I would never do a horror movie because he's like, I thought they would be scary to be in. Like, I thought I would be opening a door to something like not okay. And now homie's like...
Yeah, killing it.
Yeah, I believe this was his first horror film that he was in.
Did this come out before The Purge?
Great question. Don't know, actually.
Because again, I the first time I saw him was in The Purge, and then like I saw him in Sinister again and was like, holy shit.
Purge came out in 2013.
And Sinister came out in
2012.
Wow. So maybe it was Sinister that I saw him in first. And then The Purge, I was like, holy shit. Damn.
Yeah, because this movie was this might have been Blumhouse's first feature-length film.
That's crazy, bro.
Which they needed to become the studio they are now. Without this movie, there's no fucking way they'd be at the powerhouse they are now.
If anyone needs a reason to go watch this movie, the fact that it is the only reason Blumhouse is pumping out masterpieces to this day is because of Sinister. So if that gives you an inkling of how good of a movie it is, go fucking watch it.
I'm actually going to be a little surprised if there is a bulk of our audience who has not seen this, given the other movies we have covered. But if this is your first introduction to Sinister, I mean, I guess it did come out 13 years ago.
If this is your first time watching it, one, I am extremely jealous because I would do anything to wipe my memory and experience this for the first time again. Also, if this is your first time watching this movie, good luck, because genuinely, like, the first time watching through this, I think it's not hard, but it's just so it's so uncomfortable the whole time. Like, again, I've never watched another horror movie in all my years that's made me feel quite like this movie did the first go around.
I have a few gripes about this movie, I'm not gonna lie. I think for some of the later jump scares, they rely very heavily on a rising score to jump you with sound, which I'm never a fan of because I feel like it's a cop-out. Do I think it works in this movie? Yes, but not a fan of it. I am also a big proponent of I rarely ever like to see the killer.
Yeah, and I agree with that. If I'm going to see the killer or see the scary thing, like if you're not going to leave it up to my imagination, it's got to be a certain type of way. And maybe it was just because I was disappointed with Insidious. But I think the look of this guy just hit me in the right way to where I was like, that's fucking terrifying. Like, this looks like, it doesn't look like a metalhead that would, like, you know, those people aren't actually fucking terrible or like, you know, they're not like mean people usually. They're just humans. Yeah. But like,
I think... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
For me, I think it's just a little too human. It's still it kind of feels too much like a man in a mask for me when it's supposed to be not that.
See, I think for me, when I think of demons a lot of the time, I think of like a sort of human figure, but not just someone who looks like a dude, like, you know. A demon's gonna have a bit of a human figure, right? Because like, you know, we were made in God's image or whatever. But like it's I guess for me, it's how they do the makeup and how they portray the character as a whole. And so for the supernatural aspect, as soon as they introduced him and started showing him, it just felt like this is a new type of demon I've never seen before. Because before it's just been like, you know, you don't see it, but like the demon in Paranormal Activity, you can kind of get an idea of this like big, bulky, like 10-foot tall fucking... Which
is after this as well.
You know, but I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense.
I'm not trying to bash it.
No, like, I know. And I'm not trying to change your mind either. I'm just saying, like, I think for me, it's when they're enough of a human, but just not enough that creeps me out, because it's like, what did that person have to endure before they became this fucking awful thing? You know, if you're tortured enough in hell to eventually become a part of Satan's army, like, you had to have gone through some terrible shit, but you also have to be an awful soul, like through and through.
That's a fair way to look at it. For me, it just like it hits in an area where it's not uncanny valley enough for me to kind of suspend my belief about this being a man in a mask.
That's fair.
Don't get me wrong, makeup is great. I think the way the actor holds himself in the pose of being this demon, I think he carries himself very well.
Yeah.
I lose some kind of fear anytime I see the thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not as scary to me anymore as soon as you see the thing.
And we've talked about that, like, no matter what a director or writer could even come up with in their brains, like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even apply strictly to horror shit. Like, in the video game industry, if directors, people can sit in a room and brainstorm ideas all day, but it's a matter of how many of those can actually work in a video game or can, like, come together cohesively that actually, like, makes it fit.
There's, on a semi note, there's an anime that I just started watching. Holy fuck, body horror in a weird way that I would love for you to watch it.
What's it called?
I believe it's called Picnic in Another World.
Interesting.
I just watched, like, I've seen the first 3 episodes so far, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? The whole blurring of the kid dying happens, and he goes from watching it on the film over to the digital camera that he's re-recorded it on, and so he's on his laptop looking at it, and he bumps up the contrast on one of these scenes, and it's a poster or something that says something about, like, 4 kids of St. Louis. And so he's like, okay, St. Louis murder, 19 whatever.
Yeah.
And he ends up being able to find news coverage of it, stating that, what the murder happened and that the oldest son is missing. And so now you're like, oh, Stephanie's missing. This son is missing. Does a kid go missing every time? What the hell's going on? So as he's doing this, there's more creaking in the attic, and then the lights go out, and then there's someone running around in the attic around him. It's weird. He's looking at the ceiling. He turns on his phone flashlight, and this is, I think, the first movie. Is this the first one we've covered where it's like, yes, someone actually use your phone flashlight proper?
Yes, honestly.
It's so fun how he holds it, though, because, like, I'm so used to people, like, going like this and, like, kind of having it in front of you.
Yeah.
But he's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And holding it out in such a weird way that you're like, damn, smartphones were still kind of new, eh?
Yeah, honestly.
He's creeping around, and so I believe all of the house shots were filmed in an actual house, because I know they had a house for this movie. And so we get some of those scenes like what we talked about in Immaculate, where, like, it's a steady camera because the set is, you can't change it. And so he's, like, walking in directions, and you kind of have, like, that steady cam of watching him. And he's creepy.
That was my stomach, sorry.
It sounded like a dog, and I'm like,
yeah,
your dogs are downstairs.
That was crazy.
This is wild. He creeps around, like, looking into doors and stuff, checks on Tracy, and in my head I'm like, dude, why aren't you going to your breaker box? Because anytime the power goes out, my first instinct is breaker box, what happened?
Yeah.
But whatever. Then there's a loud bang and some more, like, pitter-patter footsteps running. He grabs a freaking kitchen knife, and all I can think of is, God, you're gonna stab one of your kids because you're trigger happy with a knife, but okay.
Yeah.
He scans the halls. He's, like, looking around. He creeps into... Oh, no, sorry. He's looking around, and he goes into the attic because that's where all the creepy sounds have been coming from.
Yep.
Doesn't see anything, but it looks like a floorboard is misplaced as he looks over. He's looking around, and then he screams because a floorboard, something
falls over.
And you look over, and it's just a plank of wood, and you're like, okay, what the fuck?
Then there's, like, he hears some scuffling, and he looks over, and there's shoebox lid, but it's, like, bigger than a shoebox lid. But it's, like, it's got that, like, brim that goes down, so it's not like flat to the ground. It's raised a little bit. And he goes over.
And it moves a little.
He goes over, he flips it over, and a fucking giant-ass, well, not a giant-ass thing, but, like, a snake comes out and scares the fuck out of him, slithers away. He looks over at the box lid, and there's, like, drawings inside of it.
And you got the family hanging out, and it's the 4 family members hanging. And you have the pool party, which is everyone drowning in the pool. And then you get the what is it? The sleepy time. And as you're looking at all of these, there's a figure drawn called Mr. Boogie.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
You're like, great. Okay.
Then
Well, he starts like walking back towards the ladder, and the floor collapses under him.
He falls through the fucking ceiling into the
falls
the hallway.
Well, he like catches himself at first, and he's like hanging there by his arms.
What's that movie? That Christmas movie? Not Christmas with the Cranks. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Doesn't he also fall through?
I think so. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but god damn, that shit's so funny.
He just locks himself in the fucking attic.
Oh my god. But yeah, so he like his legs fall through the floor and he's like hanging there for a second, and then he, falls all the way down to the ground, and then it fades out and then fades back in.
He's in a chair with 2 EMTs wrapping up his leg that are like, we should go to the hospital. And he's like, I'm not going to the fucking hospital. And he's like, you need stitches. And he's like, cool, continue. What else?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, well, if it starts bleeding, please go to the hospital. We've done what we can.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, it's an EMT and it's a deputy. The EMT leaves. The deputy's like, hey, can you tell me what's going on? So he takes him down the hallway and he's like, so you fell? And he's like, yep. And he's like, after you heard noises from your attic. And he's like, yep.
He's like, but you can't open the ladder from the inside, right? And he's like, no. So he's like, so how would an intruder get up there?
Close it from the inside.
Or close it from the inside. So he's like, no. He's like, so how could an intruder get up there?
He's like, I didn't say there was an intruder. I said I just
heard sounds up there. And then he's like, I did see a snake though. And the deputy's like, snakes don't have feet. And Ellison is like, uh-huh.
He's like, I think you have squirrels. That would, with all the power going out, the skittering, the sounds, they could get up there and they wouldn't need to use the ladder. And he's like, okay, well, anyways, he's like, well, I did find a scorpion up there one time too. Maybe I need to call an exterminator. And the guy's like, scorpions do have feet, but I don't think you'd be able to hear them.
Yeah. Again, it's them removing the tension so that they can rebuild it from the ground up.
And this deputy doesn't have a fucking name.
No.
The wiki doesn't have a name for him.
Yeah, he's just Deputy So-and-so.
Which I usually can find people's names.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's the protagonist in the second one, so...
Is he?
So you could just, see his name from the second one.
Because, in wiki, in the cast, right, it has Ellison, Tracy, the sheriff, the deputy, Trevor, Ashley.
Yeah.
The sheriff, neither of them
Ellison refers to him as Deputy So-and-so.
And Deputy So-and-so never corrects him.
Nope. The deputy goes on to be like, dude, honestly, how when you write a book that there's the page where you get this wouldn't be possible without the help of my local this person,
deputy so and so.
Yeah, deputy so and so of the whatever police department, and he's like, oh, okay,
you want to be my deputy so and so?
Yeah, and so he's like, all right, actually, look into a couple things for me. Oh, he tells him to look into
the St. Louis one because he was able to find it. Because I think
murders matching those descriptions.
Yeah, I think he gives him 3 of them. 2. He would have had to give him 2 at this point. He gives him the pool drowning and then the St. Louis one.
Yeah,
because they're in the Stevenson home, and we have not watched the next tape yet. So he gives him the car burning and the pool party, right? No,
I don't remember which ones he gives
because we've watched 3 now. He gives 2 of 3, and I can't remember. I think he gives the car burning one because he's like, I don't know. I just know that people burn in the car. And I think it's the St. Louis one to figure out more information.
The sleepy time.
Sleepy time.
I think it is that one, yeah.
Yeah, which is the sleepy time, not the pool party one. I don't believe.
The sleepy time is the one where they're just laying in bed and they get their throats slit.
Yes.
So
he gives him that information, and then it cuts to him and Tracy talking, and Tracy apologizes for taking out her anger on him.
She's just upset with Trevor, and yeah.
And they kiss, and it's cute and whatever. And this motherfucker is sitting down in his damn plush living room watching tapes of his own fucking interviews for Kentucky Blood.
Yeah. It's so cringy.
I don't think I would ever be so proud of an accomplishment I've done that I would sit by myself and watch my thing.
No.
Especially an interview. Do you know how much anxiety I would have doing an interview and then to want to rewatch it over and over again?
Yeah. Well, the interview's cringy as fuck because it's like
It's old.
it's old. It's supposedly like him in the height of his fame right after Kentucky Blood, and so this interviewer is like asking him some questions, and he's being very pompous about his answers of like,
Justice matters more to me than anything. At one point, he literally says, I'd rather cut my hands off than do something for the fame and fortune.
yeah, and it cuts to Ellison like closing his eyes and shaking his head like, God fucking damn it, I'm an idiot. And you're just sitting there like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot, bro.
See, and for me, was it like, you're an idiot for your interview, or are you an idiot because you're doing the exact fucking thing you said you would never do because you're chasing fame again?
I think, like, for me, I'm sitting there being like, you're a fucking hypocrite, bro. Like, I have no sympathy for you.
I just don't know how, what Ellison thinks of that in that moment.
Yeah, 100%. Because we don't get that. We don't get that from him. We just get his reactions to like some of the things he says in the interview.
And he ejects the tape because it's a VHS and opens a drawer that has 5, 6 more tapes of Kentucky Blood interviews in there that he puts the tape in. And I'm like, okay, there's one. If there's one, and it's like your first interview, maybe your wife did it because like she's so proud of you. You recorded every single interview you did for Kentucky Blood.
Yeah, like I'm thinking to myself, what would I do in that scenario if like I went on a bunch of interviews? I'd definitely just like have that in my memory and not have video of it.
See, but then I had to put myself in the footsteps of we don't have to because the internet exists. We don't need to go out of our way to record something because you know someone's going to clip it.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be on like if you do
like if I am on an interview, that interview will be seen on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything.
So I was trying to think about back into a time where you had to physically record stuff, and I came to the conclusion I think I would like either the first interview filmed or the last one. It'd
probably be both for me, first and last. But like, yeah, not every single one.
Because also, how different are those interviews?
Yeah, especially when you're talking about the same book. Yeah, they may ask different questions, but at the same time, like, go into your office and jerk off, dude. It's not that hard. Like, you don't need to sit here and fucking boost your ego.
Or the other thing, like, I could see it being if it was, like, a really cool interview. Like, if I got interviewed by Drew Barrymore, fuck yeah, I'm recording that shit.
No, like, if I, 100%, this is very specific for me, but, like, if I went on an episode of Guest Grumps for, like, Game Grumps.
Oh, yeah.
I would watch that so many times to be able to, like, relive that. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what he wants to do is relive that fame because, like, we've had Tracy say, like, you know, that was your 15 minutes. But at the same time, like...
It's just the amount he has for me.
There's also, the problem with this scene is there's a lot of implied, like, snideness about it. Of, like, yeah, these are, like,
It feels like trophies.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't feel like... Again, it's a hubris. It doesn't feel like a...
My hubris. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a... It feels like a trophy. I was going to say it doesn't feel like a... It's not him being proud. It's him trying to be that person again.
Yeah.
Because he's so fucked up that he's not making money. Like you're... Ugh,
yeah. I get it.
He goes back to work, I believe.
Does he?
He goes over to the video of the box top. So this was the thing. This part to me, okay. So we didn't really talk about this. When he finds the box top with all these drawings in it, he records a video of the box top.
Yeah.
And when he falls through the floor, the box top disappears and we don't see it again for a hot second. He no longer has the box top.
That's true.
And so he is on his laptop going over the video of the video of the box top, comparing the drawings to the physical tapes that he has done, right?
Mm-hmm.
He starts looking for Mr. Boogie in the real tapes because Mr. Boogie obviously was in the pool.
Yeah.
Was in pool party.
He starts going back and looking through the other videos.
He prints off a photo of the pool because that was the easiest one to find. Hanging out. God, I hate it. Makes me feel icky calling them by their tapes because it just feels weird. The Stevenson murder was pretty easy to spot too. Oh no, that one took a second. So the car one was last because it was really hard to spot in that one. It took him a second to find him. He's straight up just in the bushes of hanging out.
Yeah.
Ugh, it was creepy. I hated that one. The car one, he's in the doorway.
Yeah. Fucking creepy as shit, dude.
That photo is That one's the creepiest to me, but also the one of him in the bushes is just so out of place.
Oh, it's so uncomfortable.
Because you just see this white face in green bushes, and it's just
Yeah.
like, hello, Clarice.
Ugh.
Like, ugh. Cuts to the morning time, and Ashley asks if she can bring Daddy his coffee, and Tracy says he likes it a very specific way, which is in a French press, which I've been debating about getting.
I don't really drink coffee, so I'll drink it when we like get Dunkin' Donuts or something, you know. But I don't like search it out, you know.
See, and I'm the type of person that before we moved from Flagstaff, I believe I succeeded in trying every single coffee house in town.
Nice. Which one did you decide was the best?
Wicked AZ.
Oh, I mean, yeah, honestly, that makes sense.
So I'm a big coffee person. So when she does the French press, I'm like, and he's like, I drink my coffee a very specific way. I fucking get it.
Yeah.
So Ashley goes to bring him the coffee, and I thought for sure that she was going to just walk into the office and break the rules and something weird was going to happen, but she doesn't. She waits and gives Dad coffee right when the deputy calls, and he calls with addresses. The Stevensons lived in the house that the Millers, I believe, was the previous family.
Yeah.
They lived in the Millers' house before they moved to this house to get murdered.
Yeah.
That's a weird way to phrase that, but you know what I mean. While he's on the phone with Deputy So-and-so, the photo of the doorway shot of Mr. Boogie is on the laptop, and Mr. Boogie's head turns to look at him as he's talking about the previous address, and then looks back before he looks at it again and hangs up the phone.
It's fucking creepy.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Because it doesn't look weird.
No.
The way it was done looks proper. It doesn't look like weird ass fucking CGI that like move the face.
No, it looks real. It's crazy.
He plays the box top video. Every time I see this in my notes, I'm like, what the fuck is the box top? The box top video. The video of him videotaping
the pictures
drawn and ends up catching himself falling through the ceiling, like because he still had his phone rolling when this happened. And he sees little hands on his shoulders, and one's grabbing his cardigan at his chest, pulling him down.
Yeah.
Like something pulled him through the floor. He slams the laptop shut. A door creaks in the hall, and then the film whirs, like when the projector is playing, and oh, what the fuck? Does he leave his office at this point? So does he close the office and go to bed?
I think so. After he sees the
hands pulling him down.
He shuts the laptop, goes to bed.
Okay, and then the door creaks in the hall.
Yeah.
You hear the film whirring, like the projector's running.
He wakes up.
He finds his office open.
He goes into his office, and the video of the family hanging at the tree is playing.
And there's no one in there.
And the laptop is even open with the video also playing. Like, what the fuck?
And all I could think of was, bro, your missus has one rule for you. Lock your damn office door. Why isn't your damn office door locked? Because, like, is it supernatural or is it your kids fucking around, you know? At this point.
Was it locked and it just still ended up opening anyways?
The fact that this scene happens a few times throughout the movie of him going into the office. He never seems surprised that his office door is open. That is the only reason I'm like, you don't actually lock your door, do you?
That's fair.
He goes to the window to look out. I don't know why the fuck you would do this. You just got woken up by someone possibly being in your office. Everything's turned on when you know you shut it down. And he goes over to the window where he can see the fucking tree out the window and holds up the photo of Mr. Boogie in the hanging video.
In the bush.
And then moves the photo.
And Mr. Boogie's actually in the bush in his backyard. And he's like, what the fuck? He goes and grabs an actual flashlight and a baseball bat. He goes out back and
is creeping towards the bush.
And he's like shining his light on it. And he pans over and he pans to Trevor with his eyes like wide as fuck, panting like a dog almost.
Like fucking shivering
and panting. And then it cuts to Ellison running him into the house. Tracy's like, what the fuck? Tracy's like, what the fuck happened? He's like, we
gotta put a lock back on his door. This is the worst it's ever been.
Yeah.
And they go put him back to bed and like, you know, or he says he'll be fine in the morning. Like, I left something outside. I'll be right back. He goes to go get the bat and the flashlight, only to run into a fucking Roddy growling at him. And he's like, I'm gonna just reach over here and grab this bat in case you lunge at me, right?
It focuses on the Roddy first as he's talking to it, and then it cuts to focusing on Ellison, and you can see behind him. And behind him are 5 children just standing there. And you're like, oh, that's why the dog's barking.
Yeah, not at him. It's
Not
the
at
children.
him.
And all of the children are in different states of dress. Like one's in a poncho, one's in swim trunks, one's in PJs.
Yeah.
They're all variety of what they're wearing. They do not look like they're all at the same party.
It cuts back to the dog, and the dog starts barking, and then it cuts back to like seeing behind Ellis, and the kids are gone.
And then the dog stops barking and walks away.
Yeah.
And so he leaves the bat and fucking bolts back inside. And Tracy's like, what the hell is wrong with you? What is going on? I've never seen you this
She's
fucked
like,
up
what
before.
aren't you telling me, dude?
You're not telling me something, obviously. And he's like, what I'm not telling you is there was a dog, like big dog, like Cujo big.
She's like, well, why did you come in white as a ghost? Or like you'd just seen a ghost. And he's like, there was a dog, a really big dog. And then he starts kind of chuckling to try and like play it all off and be like, no, it's all okay.
She's like super over it at this point too. She asks him to stop doing the book because she says, you haven't been this bad so early in a book before. She's like, you're already drinking, and every time someone brings up his alcohol consumption, he gets so defensive. This man has definitely struggled with alcoholism in the past because every time it gets brought up, he gets really defensive. Like, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't do that. Blah, and like just very about it. Tells her about the dog. He promises that this is going to be worth it. That the happy ending we've always talked about will happen after this book. And I'm like, bro, what do you mean the happy ending you've always dreamed of? You got the wife, you got the kids, you've got the house, well, had the house, you're in a different house now, but like, you have it.
Yeah.
What ending are you fighting for now? This is it. You just get to like live and exist and enjoy.
Why do you think I'm so happy? Like, that's where I'm at. I just get to exist and like try and have a baby with my wife. Like,
dude, no,
it's fucking chill, man.
I woke up my wife this morning. I woke her up a little early because I knew I was coming over here to record. So I woke her up. I was like, hey, do you mind if I like wake you up a little early so we can hang out? And she like smiled at me and like nuzzled into me. And she's like, no, of course not. And then like Ringo hopped up on the bed and like snuggled into her. And Izzy was just like sitting at the foot of the bed too. And I was like, God damn. Like this is it.
Yeah.
Like, and again, like us also trying to have a kid and stuff. I'm just like,
you made it, bro. Anyways,
happy moments this morning. It was great. I don't know what this man's on about a happy ending when he fucking has it and all you gotta do is just exist in it. Because this bitch ass motherfucker, okay? You know what I struggle with? He's like, well, I'm not gonna go back to I'm not going to write textbooks or I'm not gonna edit textbooks or all. He's bitching about, do you know, that's good money. No one wants to do that job.
Yeah.
Just fucking edit a textbook once a year or whatever and you're golden. Like,
yeah. It's like the dudes who go replace the fucking bulbs in like those radio towers that are like thousands of feet high. Because like they do like twice, they do like 2 or 3 a year, but they get like fucking $200K a year, you know? Or like people who do, climb to the top of windmills or whatever.
that's terrifying.
Yeah, but they barely, like they show up like 4 times a year. And then
I understand that, and then again, this is his pride, right? Like he sees that type of work is beneath him. But I'm like, there is nothing I would not do to provide for my family.
Yeah.
And if you still get a right, my guy, you still get to be home for them. You work at home.
Yeah.
And you're telling me you're not willing to edit a fucking textbook to have the life you have because it's beneath you? Fuck off with that shit, man. I'm not here for it.
Yeah, well, and again, it all plays into the writer, like the character's personality of being just very narcissistic, and like fame and money on his accord is like the number one thing. And even though he says that like no, his kids and his wife are his first priority,
They're not.
You don't see any of that really.
No,
It's not like he doesn't care for his kids either. Like it's not like he's a bad dad. Like he doesn't show up. He just, his priorities are
skewed.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But
he gets a call from the deputy who's like, hey, the deputy shows up and is like, do you have a minute? And just the way he's like silhouetted in the doorway and the way he's got his hands on his hips, you're like, oh, he knows something. And so he comes in and he's like, I'm not some small town hick. Like, I have a criminology degree. I can connect what the fuck you're doing, my guy.
Yeah, he's like, if you want me to run
Interference.
like, yeah, then you need to give me some more because, like, I'm not stupid. Like, you know, I can tell when I have a serial murder case, you know, or whatever he said.
And before Ellison can even say anything, he stops him. He's like, we got something wrong, and I get that, but this is my home. What happened here happened to all of us, and I just want to solve it.
Yeah. You see a different, like, a tone shift when it comes to the deputy's character. Because at first he was kind of silly. Not dumb, but just kind of, like, silly. And now he's shifted into this, like, no, bro, like, you're underestimating me, truly.
Also, not to sidetrack again, who is this deputy? He looks so familiar.
He played Eddie Kasprak in the newer It Chapter 2.
Did he?
Yeah.
He just looked so familiar. Oh, and he's in Mr. Right. I love Mr. Right.
I don't think I've seen it.
I think I told you that this is one you and Tay should watch together. It's got Anna Kendrick and some other guy in
She
it.
might have already seen it. But...
And Anna Kendrick ends up dating an assassin who only kills people who ask him to kill people. So, like, someone will hit him up being like, I want you to kill my husband. And so he'll show up at that person's house and murder them instead of murdering the husband, saying killing's bad.
I like that.
It's in the same vein of, like, action comedy that The Lost City is, and I love both of those movies.
Oh, and that's why he's called Mr. Right, because he's, like, doing the right thing, I guess.
I think it's more of, like, the trope of the rom-com of, like, oh, you found Mr. Right.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. But there's a whole, like, knife-throwing scene, too.
Yeah.
They end up going to his office and start talking like methodology and timelines and
essentially
all the police
Ellison
blah, blah,
catches
blah,
him
blah.
up. Yeah, like Ellison catches him up on like all the stuff that
He's been keeping from him.
Yeah, like what he's found so far.
And he tells the deputy ends up telling him, "Hey, there's a professor I think you should talk to at the university.
He specializes in the occult.
We bring him in for those weirder cases." And he's like, well, I think this is a weirder case. And the deputy just looks at him like, that's what I just said. Yes. Yeah. Fucking talk to him. He might be able to help with this, right? And, the deputy's next job is to figure out the drowning. So that was one he did not give him. And we're on to the last tape. Right?
Yes. It'll be the final one.
The final tape. And this tape we see twice. The other ones we've seen a few times or he'll rewind or do stuff. We see this one all of twice.
Yeah.
And it's not even back to back. We watch it once here and then we see the extended version later and that is it.
Yeah.
So we're outside a house. Someone's filming into the house. This is one you were talking about where they're walking up the driveway. They kind of duck into the front bushes. They see this family who are like all watching TV together. It's mom, dad, and 2 kids.
And then it just cuts to the camera walking into
like a shed or
like
the
shed
garage
or something. They walk up to a lawnmower and grab it. They take it outside. They start it. And then like the camera angle's pointing down to the lawnmower. So you can really only see like the lawnmower and then maybe like a foot in front of it.
Yeah. And all you can see is like it's on a sidewalk, like a little patch of grass and along the sidewalk. And you're just watching this lawnmower go. And this is the one that's at full speed.
Yeah, you see the lawnmower start to get pushed, and then it goes a little faster and faster, and then it's just being like kind of ran across this yard, and it kind of goes over like a path, and then back onto some grass, and then it's just like running through the grass for a while, and then out of nowhere, a body shows up in front of it, and then this like horrid scratching scream.
This is one of the ones where I feel like they used, because I was wearing my headphones, the noise as a crutch. It makes sense. I don't think it was intended to be used as a jump scare crutch, but because
they didn't need anything to add to it. I feel like they just wanted to add to it.
Well, because the fucking head is getting run over with the goddamn lawnmower, and then it scream, scritch, whatever the hell you want to call it, jump scares you at the same time.
It jump scares Ellison. He like jumps out of his chair.
And this is where I think I want to know if he jumped out of the chair first and then they filmed down the scene hall as the second shot, or if it was in the script that he would be in the hallway either way. So I'm curious about like if it was in the script that he was going to take a breather in the hall, or if he if it wasn't, and they were
God.
just like, damn, that's a good shot. Like, we should do a breather in the hall.
That's really fucking cool too. Because like if it was his instinct to be like, holy shit, you know, like, or maybe it just genuinely scared him.
I mean, for a guy who has never done a horror movie before, I don't know what was in the script about it, right? Or like how much you know about what you're going to be saying. They didn't mention anything about like keeping it hidden from him, but I don't know how much you put in the script for that, right? I don't know if you're like, oh, and then someone gets hit in the head with a lawnmower on this tape that we're going to film, or if it's just like, oh, and we played tape 5. Yeah. Like, I don't know. So I'm really interested in that side of the film industry that no one ever talks about. Can never find interviews on that kind of thing. I just never know with the in-betweens of you write it in the script first, or if they were watching his reaction, they're like, you know what we need to add here? This break in the hallway. Yeah. Because no one cares. I care, but no one else in there, no one cares. Well, Ellison picks up a new bad habit of smoking in his fucking office. Yeah. Haven't seen this man smoke yet, but he lights up a cigarette right before he video chats with the professor, who is Vincent D'Onofrio. I think I'm saying that correct.
I can't remember what else he's in, but
he's in Law and Order. He's the bug guy in Men in Black.
Oh, that's right.
He's in a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, he is.
You see this man and you're like, I know you. And you're like, who are you? I don't know, but I know you.
Yeah. The professor essentially ends up telling him that like the symbols and stuff that he's seen in the videos aren't your typical occult stuff. Like, it's not something you'd see. Like,
you'd see a heavy metal band used to scare their audience.
Yeah.
Also, he knows about the cases.
Yes.
And does not elaborate on that.
Yeah. He essentially explains that this thing is called the ghoul, and that
the eater of children.
The eater of children, and that it actually uses
depictions of itself to play like travel, pretty
pictures
much.
Of itself and like images and stuff to travel, and like
it essentially like lives in film,
in the images,
in drawn images of itself. So that's what gives its power. And there isn't a lot of images left of it because I was going to say prehistoric. That's not the right word. Really old Christian people decided to burn it all because of superstition. Yeah. He talks about that worshiping Bagul involves either blood sacrifice or, I believe his exact phrasing is, wholesale eating children. Yes. And it's his humble opinion that this isn't serial murder, but cult initiation. Yeah. Because of everything, what he's seeing. They end the call with him saying, like, he'll get back to him about some more shit. Yeah. Like, he'll send him more information, but this is what he has right now. We actually watch him lock his office this time. Locks the door, does the thing, puts the tapes away. And so when he wakes up this time, and the office door is unlocked, and the film is whirring, and it's playing, and everything's set out, you're like, oh, fuck.
He also goes, oh, fuck, and decides, you know what? I ain't doing this anymore. Is that...
Nope.
No?
He goes for the bat.
He goes for the bat.
He backs up against the wall, and there's a bat, and he starts creeping around the house. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna rock your kid's shit. You're gonna just knock the block off of one of your kids because, again, he's trigger happy. And as he's going, creepy children start appearing. So he's standing in front of his dining room table, and fucking Stephanie's face appears at his shoulder and just like slowly looks at him. And then she creeps across the table and jumps off and disappears off into a doorway.
But when the children are moving and like running through the house,
they're creaky.
Ellison's walking normally, and the children are moving in like slow motion. So like when Stephanie stands up straight and then starts like running across the table to like jump off, it's not in real time. She's like half speed. Yeah. So she's like slow motion running. And then when she jumps off the table, she's still in slow motion in air. As she disappears into the black off the table, you hear a creak on the floorboard.
Oh, it's so good.
And so he turns and looks, and there's nothing there.
All of the creaking.
As he's going through the house, more of the kids are showing up behind him and like...
right in front of him.
Right in front of him almost, but like just out of his vision. And then like as soon as he's about to turn around or like go the other way, they'll dip into another room or like off to the side out of view just before he sees them.
And it's the creaking. And so you're starting to put it together that all of the creaking he's been hearing is the fucking ghost children wandering around the house in the middle of the fucking night. And then the oldest boy he's leaning up against a doorway, creepily, like...
Starts slow motion sprinting towards him
And,
down
like,
the hall and then stops.
And then, like, ducks into the laundry room. It's so fucking crazy.
It's so creepy.
And the film whirs, and there's no one there. That specific sound, because I was trying to think, because the subtitles call it whirring, right? And I was trying to think of a...
subtitles. The only subtitles available to me were other languages.
Oh, damn. The subtitles, anytime the projector kicks on, calls it film whirring. Which makes sense. But that is such an odd word that I feel like you don't hear it very often, that I was trying to be like more descriptive of it. And it was like, nope, there's no other word in the English dictionary I can think of that describes film worrying besides worrying.
Yeah.
It's just that sound that you hear. And every time you hear it, you know something weird's about to fucking happen.
Mm-hmm.
He checks on Trevor, who's asleep. He checks on Ashley, who's like turned away from him. And she moves a little, and he like watches for a second and then leaves. And then this is the only time we get someone else's POV, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it zooms in on Ashley and then turns.
She's awake.
She's full ass fucking awake.
Staring at the wall next to her bed.
And it does this slow pan where you see the 4 hanging family members with Mr. Boogie also painted on her wall, because now she's painting that on her wall. And then Stephanie crouched in the corner staring at her doing the shh motion. And you're like, oh God.
Yeah. He locks down everything, goes and sits on the couch in the living room. And this is a cool shot because it's nighttime and it's one continuous shot. And so he goes and sits on the couch and then like lays back and closes his eyes. And then you can see like a time lapse of like the sun rise and everything, but it's just one shot. So it's just literally Ethan Hawke laying on the couch and staying still for a minute.
I was so mad at this man though when he started locking everything down now. And I'm like, you just had your kid night terror outside and you're just now making sure everything is fucking locked. The reason you did all of this was to make sure your kid doesn't end up outside again. Mm-hmm. But I digress. He's not the worst father, but it's just like the mindful things you would do as a parent.
He's got his priorities all wrong.
Yeah, you're correct. That's right. So he walks into his office and like kind of looks around again before checking the projector. And then Ellison asks the deputy over for coffee. And so the next scene is them sitting on the couch. And it's the deputy and him just drinking coffee. And Ellison is like wigged out, man. Like he's jumpy as all shit. He's like can't really sit still. And this is him without like even seeing the kids. Like imagine if he actually was able to see the kids. This man would be off his rocker.
Yeah. He
asks the deputy and he's like, so was there any weird stories? Were the Stevensons weird folk? Did anything odd ever happen? And this poor deputy is like, the cops were never called on them. They never called the cops. Mm-hmm. As far as we know, they were very nice people.
Yep.
It says something about the paranormal and whatever. And then he's like, obviously you want to talk about something. Something happened to you. Can you talk to your wife? And he just like stares at him and he's like, she knows about the house, right? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, that's a conversation I don't want to be here for. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to be there for that either.
Yep.
And pretty much Ellison then asks, do you believe in the paranormal stuff? Obviously, or like obviously said, what does he say? Obviously you don't believe in the paranormal stuff. And he's like, oh, fuck yeah, I do. I wouldn't stay one goddamn night in this house. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Not happening. He's like, sorry. Look, man, you're under a lot of stress. You just moved your family here into a murder house. You've put it yourself in the victim's shoes, watching tapes that are crazy.
I've also seen an open bottle of whiskey in there every time.
And then he gets super defensive about the whiskey drinking. He's like, I'm not calling you an alcoholic. And he's like, good. And he's like, I also don't think you're making this up for attention. And he's like, I'm not making this up for... He's not aggressive about it. He's just very like over-explaining about it. He's very quick to be like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Like, you have to believe me. And he's like, I just think you're stressed, sir. And I think, Mr. Oswald, you need to get out of the fucking house and go see the world. Yeah. It's pretty much his way of saying, go touch grass, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of doing any of that, he just goes back to writing.
Yeah.
Here's Tracy call him, I'm sorry, and is like, Ellison, and he bolts out of the office and is like, oh my God, what's wrong? Like, is everything okay? And Ashley's painted somewhere she's not supposed to. But can I tell you how much I hate it? Because mom looks at dad and says, look what your daughter did.
Ugh.
I hate that because it feels like you're disowning your child when they do something you don't approve of.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I do that to my dogs, but like those are my dogs. I'm not going to do that to my kid.
They're not going to understand. Like, your dogs don't understand words.
Yeah, and I also do it when they're super cute or just being fucking wonky.
Yeah.
Like if Sarge looks super cute on the couch, I'll look over at the missus and I'm like, look at your daughter.
Yeah.
What is she doing?
Exactly.
Why is she half off the couch like a why was I going to say lasagna?
Yeah, why were you going to say lasagna?
I think I was thinking of Garfield, so in my
I
head...
like my lasagna half off the couch when I eat it.
I'm just thinking of how furry my couch is. Ashley has painted a beautiful painting of Stephanie.
Swinging from a tire swing.
The tire string that was originally... The tire string? Wow, the tire swing that was on the tree outside where everyone got hung from.
Yeah.
It was originally there. And she said, well, I couldn't do it in my room because that was Stephanie's brother's room and she didn't want to be in there. And then Tracy looks over at Ellison, is like, it just clicks. And he's like, oh, fuck me, I'm in trouble. And she's like, Ashley, go to your room.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to their room and start fighting. Very well deserved. Ellison needed this entire conversation where she's like, you fucking moved us into a murder house. I asked you if we lived down a crime scene. He's like, no, you asked if we moved 3 streets down from a crime scene.
She's like,
and
you fucking idiot. You know exactly what I meant, and you are a fucking goddamn.
She calls him out on all of his little lies, and he keeps adding onto them.
Oh, God. It pisses me off because at one point, he's talking about how, like, this book could be his legacy or whatever. And Tracy looks at him and goes, your fucking children are your legacy. Like, what the fuck?
Because he's like, writing is the meaning of my life.
Yeah, he's like, writing gives me purpose. And it's like,
these books are my legacy. And Tracy just looks at him and is like, our marriage is the meaning of your life. Our kids are your legacy.
Yeah.
But at one point, he also tells her, no one died here. And she stops him and she's like, no one died here. And he's like, no, they died in the backyard. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know exactly what I mean. He's like, it's better. And she's like, no, it's not. People fucking died in this house. Yeah. You let your daughter play in that backyard. And he's like, yeah, why wouldn't I? And it's just...
Oh, God. Yeah, it's just a heated fucking argument.
He's a selfish motherfucker that doesn't give a shit about anything. Again, you have it all, my guy. You have what so many people want. Mm-hmm. And you're just crawling for more.
Yep.
Just go edit a fucking textbook and call it a day. Tracy tucks Ashley into bed, who's so cute, and is like, did I get daddy in trouble? And she's like, no, daddy got daddy in trouble.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, make sure she's good before turning out the light. Ellison has fallen asleep on the couch, watching his interviews with a goddamn cup of whiskey again. And I'm just, is this his ritual? Every night does he watch one of these fucking interviews?
Well, yeah, what else is he supposed to jack off to?
I'm
sorry.
No,
bad fucking joke.
It might as well be. Like, it's a mental jack off. It's like, yeah, give me that. Tell me how good I am. Like, it's him.
Oh, yeah, tell me my book's the best-selling book. Yeah, you fucking...
It's just him boosting his own ego for a book he wrote over 10 years ago.
Yeah, bro.
Go do some cocaine about it. I don't know. Take a leaf out of fucking Stephen King's book.
The beautiful thing about life is you can do just about anything. You probably shouldn't do some of those things, but you have a lot of options. So don't hinder yourself like my boy Ellison.
He also talks about like, what am I supposed to do? Teach? And I was like, I mean, it would give you a steady income. Like if you really want to provide for your family, go fucking teach if you don't want to edit textbooks. Like I don't...
Teachers' salaries aren't that great, though.
Professor salaries are nice.
Professors, yeah.
And he would probably be able to do a professor.
Would he?
I don't see why not.
Just because he wrote a book?
I don't know his credentials.
I have no idea.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know anything about teaching. I've never tried to
become a professor, so I wouldn't know.
You could put on a sweater vest and you look like an English professor. In the best possible way.
Yo, what's up, motherfuckers? This is how you write the word yes. And then it's spelled wrong on the chalkboard, and they're like, the fuck is this guy?
So you can teach at any Arizona high school. Perfect.
Yeah, pretty much. I just have to show up and be like, I can talk to kids for an hour, and they'd be like, you're hired.
I'm willing to do this job that no one else is for minimal amounts of pay. Tracy is a better spouse than I would be at this moment, where she wakes him up and takes him to bed. I don't know if I would wake up my wife after a fight like this.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
I don't think I would.
Very strong wife here.
But she wakes him up, takes him to bed.
Oh, and then as he's sleeping, we get this like flashlight on him and like a zoom in on him.
Yeah, as if someone's like recording from that fucking first person view.
Oh yeah.
And it gets up close to his face, and then the light turns off, and then he wakes up
to the fucking projector going off.
He
has like this weird like panic episode where he's like, he looks very sweaty and he's like rocking his head back and forth and like running his hands through his hair, and he goes down the hall into his office with car keys. They look like car keys. It looks like it had a key fob on it. I don't know. He turns the lights on in the office, but the projector and film box are gone. And he like runs his hand through it like he's expecting his hand to like hit where the projector should be.
Yep.
And there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Something drags his attention down into the kitchen where he gets this. It's like the film is now ingraining in his head because you get these film cuts of the attic ladder down the hall.
Yep.
And every like, so it'll like cut between him and the attic ladder really fast, but every time you see the attic ladder, it's on the Super 8 film.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It's fucking, yeah.
And this scene is also, it's so good. He walks up to the attic ladder and you get it from like filmed in the kitchen, and he walks up to the ladder and there's light pouring in from the attic and everything else is dark, and he just looks up and he's like silhouetted or lit just from above from the light in the ladder. It really feels like an abduction scene, just the way it's filmed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
He climbs up the ladder, takes a little peek, and what he sees in the attic is nothing short of terrifying. It's all the kids sitting there watching which film is it?
I believe it's it's the stabbing.
Okay. Yeah. They're watching the stabbing film, and then they all turn back and look at him and then do the like the shush
moment,
the hush
movement
with the finger on the mouth.
And while that's happening, the film has slowly changed from being the stabbing one to being Bagul, Mr. Boogie, like just him, and then like goes up, like pans up from his chest to his face and like zooms in on his fucking face. And it also showed the symbol at some point in the footage.
Yeah.
And I was watching this on a streaming service and it started buffering right here, so it like paused it, and it was just like staring at his makeup, and I was like, it is really good. Like the way it's done, it's just something about it isn't uncanny enough for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit that like heebie-jeebie level for me just quite yet, which is a great place to pause all sound and everything, because the next scene is him jump scaring Ellison by peeping out right in front of his fucking face from the side of the camera.
Yeah, Ellison falls down, and
the lights cut off upstairs.
The lights cut off, and then doesn't the box...
Everything
dropped. Just gets dropped out of the attic.
The box, the tape, the projector, it all just gets dumped down.
Everything. He gets up and puts it all in the box, and it's at this point where that same, like, it's that similar music with the drum beat from earlier pushed into action, kind of, where he gathers all the shit, he takes it outside and throws it in the fire pit, and
gets two, like, little lighter fluid bottles and sprays it all over it.
Yeah, douses it, and then lights it on fire.
And you see movement behind him, and it's just Tracy, who's like, what the fuck are you doing?
And he's like, go get the kids up, we're leaving. And she's like, what happened? And you're scaring me. And she's like, go get them now. And he fucking screams at her. And it's like holy shit.
Or pack the car, get the kids, we're fucking leaving.
Yeah.
He is at his wit's end at this point. You can just see it in the way he's so sweaty. He's just done and sweaty, and they get Trevor first. They wake up Trevor enough for him to like get to the car by himself, but he just picks up Ashley and puts her in the car, and they're speeding, and Tracy's like, bro, like slow down. What's going on? He's like, I just want to make it to the freeway. And right after this, they get pulled over by the sheriff, and he's actually like a good guy. Like he literally was just trying to protect his town from the chaos of the last two books this motherfucker has written. Because he's like, did you guys get bullied out of my town? Are people mistreating you? Like, if something's going on, like, please tell me.
Yeah.
That's not how folks should be acting. And he's like, I'm just taking your advice. We're going home. I'm leaving. There's no book. And the sheriff's like, well, if there's no book, I don't see a reason for me to have your autograph, and tears up the ticket and lets him go. And he's like, just do under 60 before you're, until you hit county lines, until you're someone else's problem.
Yeah.
And so Tracy looks at him and is like, no book? He's like, no book. And they like have a cute little makeout session real fast before they leave.
Then the next scene is the outside shot of their old house, which is a fucking mini mansion.
It's the old Victorian style East Coast houses where
red
it's
brick, white pillars,
2 stories,
beautiful. But like 2 stories each, their own like 1-story house worth of a layout.
I would love a house like this.
A lot of houses like that out, like the more east you go, you see.
Oh yeah, you don't see any houses like that on the West Coast. Those are East Coast builds for sure.
But there's moving trucks and there's people like bringing all sorts of stuff back in. We get a view of Trevor like listening to music in his room, unpacking.
We get Deputy So-and-so, which is his name, in the phone, calling and ignored. You want to talk about an idiot motherfucker. So it shows them like, moving, packing. He's in his office. By that night, it's pouring raining, and he runs outside to their uncovered patio where there are 2 stacks of wood that he grabs wet wood from to then put in his fireplace.
Yeah.
If it rains that often and you use fire that often, where's your fucking woodshed?
Yeah.
Or any type of tarp to keep your wood dry, my guy.
Yeah.
But I digress. You're idiocy. You're a writer. No one said you were street smart.
Yeah.
I lost got so upset about the wet wood. I forgot where I was. So he gets the
raining.
email.
He goes,
from the professor, and he opens it, and then it's a bunch of depictions, like we were saying, like drawings and stuff of Bagul. And he calls the professor, and he's like, "What the hell am I even looking at?" And this is where Bagul, goodness, this is where the professor explains it more. Like, they burned everything. It was really hard to find. No one writes about this fucker often enough that I had to scan in everything myself. And Ellison's like, okay, so they destroyed everything. If, let's say, everything was burned, there would be no gateway to his realm. Like, this would destroy the tether, right? And the poor professor is like, sir, what kind of book are you writing?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even fucking know anymore.
Yeah.
It ends the call. He deletes all of the photos from his laptop and then empties his trash. Trying to get rid of everything. And I was like, smart. You now understand that it's tied to depictions of him. Get rid of all of the depictions.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, the professor also did mention children are easier to possess. And you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, children are more susceptible to changes in things in media and blah, blah, blah. Like, makes sense. He goes up to the attic, again, because all of these freaking houses have attics, I guess, with a box. I don't know what box. And there it is, the home videos box with the tapes and the projector and everything, like it had never been burned.
And there's an extra film reel.
Is there?
Yeah.
I didn't know it zoomed in on the box because he just like goes up there and like
fucking
rips
no,
it apart.
No, that is in there, but like when he's looking at it at the start of the attic, it's the box.
Yeah, and so he goes up and like destroys the box and throws everything around, and I'm like, dude, you just have to put it back into the box to get it out of your attic again. But I guess, whatever. I was like, maybe bury it. I don't know. You tried to burn it once and that didn't work.
Yeah.
Take it to a shaman. I don't know. Because they talk about it being a pagan deity.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, go find a witch who can do something about this. I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're already this far in. Might as well go the whole 10 yards. Also, you're on the East Coast. I'm sure you can find someone.
Yeah, honestly. He ends up finding an extra like roll that he hadn't seen.
It's an envelope.
Oh yes, it's an envelope
saying extended cuts. And this fucker, instead of leaving it alone, goes and has to match, because when you edit film reels, you cut. This is why they call it a director's cut, because it's where the director cut shit from the film.
Mm-hmm.
And so he literally cut the film, right? And so he has to match up endings to different tapes based on what cuts they are, and is taping them together. And I'm like, why Why at this point are you even
because you
doing
just got
this?
rid of the evidence. Like, wouldn't you just see that and be like, nope, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. That can just stay up there because as long as I don't watch it and bring out the film.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
And this whole time, it's a weird, again, panic episode where he's doing these tapes and he's drinking his coffee and tapes and coffee and coffee. And I'm like, wow, caffeine high. Like, I've been to a point in my life where I obviously I went to college. I survived off of caffeine, and I know exactly that feeling of I have a paper due at midnight. It is 11:30 and I need 4 more pages. I'm just gonna down 3 fucking rock stars and drink some coffee until it's done.
Yep.
And you're just, everything is enhanced and god awful, and you're just panicking because now you can't move your hands proper because everything's shaky. And that's literally where this man is.
Yeah.
The deputy calls again, and he answers.
I think, isn't it after, or like while he's watching the tapes, he gets the call?
He just finished taping them up when the deputy calls.
Okay.
And so he answers the call and he's like, you know, it's really fucking late, right? And he's like, I've been trying to call you all day, dude. The problem is you moved. And he's like, yeah, I moved my family back home. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Like, I got all of the addresses back. You can draw a straight line from these murders. Each family lived at the previous murdered family's household. So like the Stevensons lived in the Miller's place and the Millers lived in someone else's house all the way back to 66. Anytime they moved out of the murder house, they then died. And so the deputy's like, you just moved up this fucker's timeline if he's still alive.
And put yourself in it.
I also have questions about that we'll get to here at the end, because we've got a few bullet points left and then we're done.
Mm-hmm.
He
Just good,
then starts watching.
This is a 3-hour episode so far.
This is going to be wild to edit. This is probably our longest episode we've done so far, but I was expecting it when we decided to do Sinister. This is when he starts watching the tapes.
Mm-hmm.
The extended cut of the Stevenson murder shows Stephanie climbing down the tree and then grabbing her dad's feet and swinging from them.
Mm-hmm. And then going up to the camera, doing the shush motion, and then just vanishing.
Then it's the burning, the family barbecue, as it were. Victim
Camera gets
next.
put down, in front of the car, and then the kid fucking runs or walks in front of the camera.
Does the
shush thing, vanishes.
Disappears. Then it's the stabbing, and then it's the lawnmower, and this is the second time. This is it that we see the lawnmower scene, and we don't see anything except the little girl in her poncho with
the little yellow raincoat,
5 bags of probably body parts or something behind her, and her going up to the camera. Ugh, it's so creepy.
It's insane.
He finally takes off the cardigan, and I had to write this because this man literally wears the same cardigan throughout the entire movie. And as someone who has a very similar cardigan,
yes, 100%,
super comfy. It's probably also like his writing cardigan. I'm not gonna lie, where he's like cuddly cozy. I'm gonna write.
I think I need one of those. The closest thing I have to that is a toothless blanket that I got from Universal.
Dude, I highly recommend a good cardigan. It's also extra pockets, snuggly cozy, easy to take off if it gets too hot. But like, I love a good cardigan. So he finally takes off the cardigan, and this was just a big deal because he looked so naked afterwards, just being in his little button down, because he was just in like a plaid short sleeve button down. He goes to get his coffee again and looks in it this time, and there's something green in it.
Yeah,
and you're just like, what the fuck? And then he wobbles and then falls to the ground, dropping the cup. And Ashley is creeping in the doorway as he like rolls over and is foaming from the mouth.
Mm-hmm. And
then it cuts to him waking up.
Tied.
Like he's got duct tape over his mouth. His hands are tied behind his back. He's on a tarp he looks over and Tracy and Trevor are on a different tarp tied up exactly away from him. And you just hear this like dragging sound as Ashley comes into view, dragging this gigantic woodcutting axe with the Super 8 camera looking at him. And she kneels down and she's like, don't worry, Daddy. I'll make you famous again. Ugh.
Puts the camera down so that it's facing towards Ellison. And we see from the camera's view, we hear a swing. And then it cuts to black. And then it fades into an attic. Or no, yeah, it's the kids, sorry. It
fades into the film showing the hallway.
That's right.
And there is blood all along the wall as Ashley like walks into view. And she's doing the shush motion to the camera that then shows or like to the camera, but she grabs the camera and then like starts showing her artwork down the hall. And there are unicorns painted in blood and dogs painted in blood and all of these things painted in blood until the very end of the hall. There's Bagul's symbol painted in blood. And the projector, it cuts from that to this being projected on the wall in the office. And it's all of the kids standing there in the projection. And then they all stare at the camera screen and then look over to the desk, where it then pans over to Ashley, who is drawing her family murder in the box top lid. And she then gets up, stands in front of the projector, staring at the kids who watch her. They turn their heads from her at the desk to facing her entirely when she stands stands behind the projector, and then they scatter. And
they tilt their heads.
Oh, that's right.
And then Ashley also tilts her head, and when she does that, it's revealed that Bagul is standing behind her.
And then the kids scatter
in slow motion, and then Bagul picks Ashley up, walks over to the projector, poofs into the screen, and is walking down the hall, and then it fades to black. And then it shows the box in the attic
that now has a tape called House Painting in it.
And then it zooms out, and it keeps zooming out farther away from the box. Then it stops.
And then you get one last jump scare from fucking Bagul.
Bagul shows his face one more time just for good measure to be like, haha, fuck you. And then that's it.
And then it cuts to credits.
What a fucking... I love this movie.
A reason this movie continuously gets rated as the scariest horror movie by Science. There's a reason people still talk about it to this day. Even Drew Barrymore, I brought her up earlier. I love this woman. Talked about it on her show for a Halloween episode.
Oh, did she?
She did.
That's sick.
This movie is phenomenally filmed. The actors are fantastic. We've talked about the music. We've talked about the cinematography, the effects. We've talked about what I didn't like about it. Did you have anything you didn't like about this movie?
Not really. I wish it was longer. Honestly, I feel like they could have. I mean, it's very succinct, right? Like it has. I think that's part of why it's so good is because of the way it's structured. There's no real downtime, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty much just you're in it. Even when he's sitting there talking to the deputy and they're breaking tension, you're sitting there for such a short amount of time that like when they're breaking tension there, you're like, I'm just not ready for what's coming next. I know something else worse than what I saw earlier is going to happen. I don't know what, you know, and so maybe it should, maybe honestly, no, I don't think it should be longer because maybe, you know, it's just perfect the way it is.
And like we talked about earlier that I had, whatever, bring it back up. When the fuck did Stephanie get possessed? You had mentioned that that you thought Bagul was originally going after Trevor. And I agree with all of the weird Trevor antics, him being in the bush, in the box. Like, there was something he couldn't latch on to Trevor for some reason. I wonder if it was age that he's getting to a point where, like, he's less susceptible to these kinds of things coming into his own person.
Maybe because he's already a very defiant kid, like from how we kind of saw him snap at his dad over the whiteboard stuff. Like, maybe he's just... Yeah, he's not as moldable as Ashley, because Ashley is very quiet, very just like goes along with how whatever's happening in the house. As long as she can paint, she's good.
Yeah.
That's very easily susceptible versus Trevor's already seems like a bit of an anarchist, or not an anarchist, but like a rebellion.
Little hooligan. I wonder if it has anything to do with like making a connection with the previous kids, because like we saw, she had like some kind of friendship with Stephanie, so I wonder if that made her more susceptible to Bagul, because she was seeing Stephanie and probably seeing the other kids too, was more, not aware, what's the right word, like more, she was aware of what was happening around them, and I wonder if that made her a little bit more moldable to being like, oh, I see dead people.
I also wonder if, because is Trevor in her room, like Stephanie's room?
Maybe. I don't know how many rooms are in the house, but Ashley is in Stephanie's brother's room, so he's probably in Stephanie's room.
So if we make that connection, then we could assume that, I mean, that would back up the theory that it started with Trevor, because she could have started with Trevor, being that it was in her room. And then like as she tried to like get it out of him, it wouldn't work. And so then Stephanie's like, well, fuck it, I guess I gotta go into my brother's room. And I don't know.
No, that's also an option. And I don't know when she would have got possessed.
No, because genuinely they don't give you any hints towards it ever.
And the only time we like again see anything from anything from Ashley's point of view is when Stephanie is in her room. Yeah. But at that point she's already painted the hanging family and Bagul on her wall. And
Ashley is also in that position depicted as like the victim and being terrified as like this isn't just affecting Ellison anymore kind of thing. Like it's not like, I feel like they would have portrayed it more so, you know, I don't know. They don't really give you any fucking inkling, especially because the ghost kids that you see, it's a mix of ages and it's a mix of genders. So there's not any defining features that you could be like, oh, there's the pattern. There's no pattern with the kids. So like when they give us Trevor and Ashley,
it's equal.
It's fucking equal.
And then like you said, like Trevor's such a red herring with it, with his night terrors and the weird bush thing, that you really think like something's up with Trevor and like don't even really think about Ashley because she's just chilling in the background.
Yep. Just like, can I help make Dad his coffee?
Yeah,
of course you can, little girl. You're so cute, and I hope nothing happens to you in this movie. Oh fuck.
It's obviously we recommend. Obviously not a beginner horror movie.
No.
I would put this on. See, the thing with this movie and with us doing any type of rating system, because we've been doing tiers of like, oh, this is like a tier 3 horror movie depending on how good you are with XYZ. There's a lot of jump scares. There's a lot of tension building. There's not really any gore, but it is I would say a higher tier horror movie that you should not have shown your wife ever.
I think it's the implications.
The implications, just the way it's filmed is I would say, what's our rating system out of? I don't know. I think we've got up to 3 and then we've said top tier. Again, it's a higher end horror movie that someone has to like horror movies to be okay watching this movie.
The first time watching through this movie it's rough. Not in a bad way. Like, it's not hard to watch, but like the tension is built up to a degree that, again, I know I've said this, but like I've just never felt it to that degree. Even with all the great fucking movies we've talked about on this podcast so far. And this is what, episode 32, 33?
32, I think, yeah.
Like, and we've talked about a lot of good ones. A lot of ones that I express explicitly scared the ever-loving fuck out of me as a kid, too. But again, those never, like, it's its own thing. And nothing has lived up to it.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Follow our Instagram and threads at No Self Service Pod. Until next time.